scared, man. You scared.
Uh,
Hello, everyone, and good morning. It is now episode 276, and I am one of your co-hosts, Mr. Brian Bacchus.
I'm, ano-
co-host.
I'm another
I was
Jamal
about to say
Smith.
I was your co-host, Mr. Rourke. That's what I was going to say.
Cohort. Guten Morgen. Yeah.
So we are back, and today's topic is Wellness Wednesdays. I just picked one at random, basically based on what we always announce. So I'm saying moving forward in 2026, my view of wellness for Altadena this year would be to get out and get among the living and enjoy some of these events that your other fellow residents are actually taking part of. Last year we had 1,500 events. We've announced about 750 plus of them. This year there's going to be a lot more events. One of the ones I'm looking forward to is next month. Well, this month. It's already next month. See how fast this month is gone. This is Black History Month, so I'm always looking forward to Jackie Robinson Park's Black History Festival. They used to have a parade that went down, but for the last couple of years, they have not had that happen. So hopefully that comes back. But yeah, that's going to be one of the ones. There's plenty of events. I mean, Jamal's going to probably announce 9,000 of them after we're done here. But yeah. So how do you guys feel about that kind of Wellness Wednesday, getting out? And I mean, Jazzy Jam does a nice little event once a month, and Tony, you've been to them. I haven't even gotten to one yet because I've been so busy, even though I'm right down the street.
Very true. I have been to them. They're nice. Actually, I got a call from Jackie this morning. She wants us to come to her First Fridays this Friday at the Paseo in her little. I don't want to say little room. She actually has a really nice location down there that they changed from where she did the dresses and the prom stuff last year. But she did ask this morning if we would come and go live. Ooh, sorry, I'm yawning because I'm cold. Ooh, I just turned the heater up.
I gotta drink some water so I won't yawn.
And I know that it's going to be 85 or something today, but my house is cold on the inside, so I need to get warmed up.
Watch out.
I need to go get my electric blanket or something. Put it on me. Anywho.
How about you, Jamal?
You're on mute, I think, or...
I don't know if he's talking to us or not, so we'll continue.
I was on mute. Sorry. I agree with the topic. I like it a lot, and I want to kind of piggyback off something that E-Dub ended with yesterday, where he was talking specifically about people rebuilding, where he said just get started. I think that's can be universally utilized by everybody in terms of just moving forward this year. Just get moving in some direction. Like what you're saying, go out to some of these activities, go see some folks, start the rebuild process, just do something. I think everything will fall in line once you kind of get moving.
Yeah, I need to get moving. Sitting in this chair all day looking at stuff on the computer has made me a very lazy person. So I got to start getting into some Tai Chi or some yoga or something that's going to loosen and oil up these joints.
Well, we've been announcing some yoga right down the street at Dina Heels.
I may participate.
Yeah, I think there's one I mentioned this Saturday, as a matter of fact. I'll do so.
I'm going to be doing like... They're gonna be like, "Oh, I pulled some muscle I never used before in my life."
Yeah, that's the scary part about our age. I mean, and
Yeah.
especially not being as active as we used to be. We can pull something doing the most mundane activity. And
Yeah, I've been doing that lately.
yeah, it's crazy, huh?
I think a lot of this fatigue came from stress built up in my nervous system and muscular system, and just just mentally trying to get your physical back in shape. Remember when before this fire happened, I had a little series that I was doing on Instagram where I was walking around 2 miles from my house and then going up Fair Oaks, going across either sometimes Wapello or sometimes I was bold and daring and I would go up Loma Alta because that hill is a little steeper. Wapello starts to go downhill, helps you out. Loma Alta is a steep hill. Then I go up to Marengo, go down. That was my cool down period, and walk back across Palm. And the whole time I'm either going live or I'm filming it to post up on Instagram later.
Right.
Because I was on this mission to lose about 20 pounds and I wanted people to help me out, by participating along with me. So I did the hill over there by the Rose Bowl a couple of times and made some funny videos with that. And yeah, that wasn't my calling, but I just liked to do it. It was fun. I make myself, if I can laugh at my videos, I know someone else will, because sometimes I don't even think I'm funny, even when I did say something funny. Now I know why people look at me weird.
They look at you weird.
Yeah, you say something funny, it was funny to you. Not to them.
Wouldn't be the hair though, right?
No, that's not a joke that I give that joke away. Everybody else can use that one. Like, I can't even tell what we're doing here. It's like I look like there's too much light. I think I have both of these windows open and it's too much light. So I'm looking Kris Kringle-ish today.
When are you gonna get it braided?
I gotta call your daughter and make an appointment. I haven't done it yet. It's gotta be sometime this weekend because I want to put on my little cap and whatever. I don't know. It's going to be 90 degrees. I don't know. It's not cap weather at all.
No, heck no. Not cap weather right now.
But Tony, what you got going? You over there looking at 19 different screens? We can see the reflection of your glasses.
I am busy. The government
right
shutdown thing is dumb. Now that it's open, I have like all these invoices to submit from, I'm busy. And then Dr. Clark just emailed me something and I'm responding to her and I'm a little busy. So,
You guys will never see a podcast like this. We're actually on the job while we're on the job. So we're kind of doing research at the same time. Tony might say, hey, pull this thing up. There's a grant over here. Look at that. And I'm like, while she's talking, I'm up here. And see, what you don't know is she's sending us stuff in the background on the back channels. I'll go
like,
pull
look
this
at
up.
this. Apply for this.
Right. So that's what I've been doing as a full-time job, is just dealing with the nonprofits since the other profitable businesses lost all their equipment. So that's why I've been here. But you know what? It's kind of great because now people are calling me up to get consultations on their nonprofits. Some of them have already been established. They just don't know where to start with getting compliant or what have you. Mm-hmm. I know that I just did a recent check on Secretary of State from last year. I think we had 35 nonprofits formed and 25 name reservations put aside. So people are doing things, and I'm glad to see it. It really warms my heart to see the people that are still here doing stuff. Unlike, some of the people who came and then they disappeared. Where did they go? Did they go find another cause that was greater than this one in this town? I don't know. But it is what it is. Happy Hump Day to you as well, Marcus. Appreciate your comments on there this week.
I still didn't find the music. or the whole commercial, but we had
Oh,
to
that's
get
what you looking for? Oh, I can get
working
you. I know
commercial.
that. I'll
I
find
mean, working camel rather. Happy hump day to everybody. Gotta get over
it. The lips just kill me.
Gotta get over. Hey.
So I went down to the convention center last night.
Nice.
Yeah, I saw that couple again that was there.
You saw your best friend, your new best friend?
He said, "Oh, Tina, it's so nice to see you." And I give her a hug and all that.
She called you Tina?
Uh-huh. And so I was Tina last night. And I was cool with that, right? Because they're elderly and it is what it is. And she remembered it was with a T. And
Sherry's mom calls me Byron.
So I spoke with them, and actually her granddaughter and grandson-in-law, whatever, called, and they're up in Santa Barbara. And they said it's been 19 years, but they are fire survivors, total loss from a fire up there then. And I was like, oh my gosh. So they're, she's like, calling to check on you, Grandma. And I told them all about, she said, this is the reporter girl. And I was like, yeah, not really. But so I told them about Altadena Talks and said where they could find us on YouTube if they, wanted to see any of the shows and all of this. And so, yeah, it was nice to speak with them and just, give the couple a nice hug. And because my thing is, if they got married in or they've been married 58 years and they were renting a back house and this man's an artist, like they want to be in Altadena again. And I'm just hoping and praying that there's someone, whether it's their landlord or someone else, that creates an ADU and is able to rent it out, that they get to rent and be back in Altadena because they're older and that's their heart's desire. And so I really, really, really hope that happens for them. But yeah, there were a few people there, and I did a quick walkthrough again, and it was nice. And that was about it. But I did drive through Altadena yesterday, and boy, oh boy, it's got to be about 200 or something homes going up, where I literally was just in seventh heaven because it's so nice to see. And I went up to the lot, so I was, the east side of Wapello, and then I crossed over, and from probably Santa Anita all the way Wapello, I went down Alicia, I went on Marathon, I went down Tonya, I went like all over, down Palm to Fair Oaks, Altadena Drive. When I tell you all, there are so many houses going up, and it seems like the gates were just opened, right? We talk about the permits for a while. People were complaining that they were stalled. It is so incredible. I drove past E276 spot yesterday that he was on talking about, because he's on Alicia. And it was just so great to see all these houses that are in various stages, from foundation to grading the lots, to the foundations, to like the framing, to some houses having the sheathing up, to some being wrapped already, the laughing paper, the Tyvek wrap, the roofs. It's incredible. And if you haven't driven through there in a minute, it was not that many 2 weeks ago. So take a drive through and you'd be really, really, really surprised, but probably pleasantly surprised, because I know that I was, and just super grateful of how much is happening. Really grateful. Talked to some people. I went over on Glen and there's a guy that is right next to one of the houses, the first groundbreaking that Kendra had for Craig and Maria. And then I saw she has another one on that street. And I said, oh, I saw a bunch of your signs up, because I went by her office for a second just to say hi in case she was there. She said, girl, and I have about 30 more that should be up, and I haven't even put them up yet. And I was like, oh, wow. And because then I saw like she has Jamaica Franklin's on West Las Flores. And then on Glen, between Palm and Altadena Drive, there's this guy, and they are like, I'm like, oh, they're going to be home in a second, because they're wrapped and they're waiting on inspection. Mm-hmm. And so I stopped and talked to them, And I said, you guys will be home soon. This is your house? He said, yeah. He said, yeah, we will. He said, but we are home today. And I go, what do you mean? The street, the house across the street, their neighbors were doing a renovation right before the fire, and it didn't get messed up. They had a little smoke damage, so they finished it. And they are renting it to them until their house is done and they can get back home.
Oh,
So in their own. So they're like home. They're on their street, directly across the street. And that's on Glen. And it was so nice seeing that and speaking with them. And Brian, he said, tell you hi. What was his name? Buzz or something. He said he's met you before. And I think it was Buzz. I don't even remember. But anyway, I was saying Altadena Talks, and he was like, oh, yeah, I've met, what's his name with a B or something? I said, yeah, Brian Bachman. Yeah.
Oh, Frederick?
No.
Not met Frederick
anyway, yeah, I know. I said, no, not Frederick Douglass. But anyway, he did say hi. I'll try to remember his name.
Well, hello, mysterious third person.
I think it's Buzz or it's something with a B. I do know that. I think he said. Anyway.
You're bad with that.
I know. I should have written it down. Because there's too many people in the last year that I've met.
Oh, no, yeah. I can understand.
And haven't, like, written their names down. And then I met the lady from, I think her name is Scion or something, Twin Dragons, who bought the land.
Oh, the dojo owner.
Mm-hmm. So I met her down at the exhibit last night.
Talking about Sipu?
Something. It's Scion, Sipu, something. Yes, I'm not real sure. Again, but I did meet her last night. And so it was really great. And just seeing people. And we had that whole discussion because Diane and her husband were down there. And we were talking about the whole thing that they were. You remember the cars that were given? The cars that Cedric the Entertainer had the big.
That they were giving away.
So we had that whole discussion last night. And I said, so tell me. And then you remember it was like 10, right? Mm-hmm. And I know the first 10. And I said, wait a minute. I don't remember seeing you guys on the news that first 10. They said, oh, no, we were in the next wave. But I didn't know there were a total of about 40. They told me that last night. I said, I thought it was only the 10 because that's all we heard about. And so I asked both of them. I said, so one family was like, I didn't want the red car. So I asked them, do you have it in black? They said, yes. The other lady from Twin Dragons was like, oh, I thought all we could take is the red. And
they want to get rid of those.
So she was talking about it's time this month, February. I guess they all got them February or late February to March. But it's time for registration. And so she said, I'm thinking about giving it back because this is quite a bit of money I got to fork out for insurance and registration. I can
understand the insurance, but why would you need to pay the registration?
So I said, okay, let's talk about this a little bit more because, last year I was like, I called out Brendan Lamar and called him on the phone. I called out Cedric the Entertainer because you guys are on TV talking about we have given these 10 people these fiats. Then later, we find out because we got a letter from someone, they weren't given to you all at all. They're a 2-year lease and they ran your credit.
Which they weren't supposed to do.
That's crazy.
Right. I said, and then in 2 years, you got to give them back. So because you're a fire survivor, we're going to give you this 2-year lease. But I found out last night, yes, they did. The lease is paid for 2 years by Cedric's Foundation or whatever, and Fiat. They are, and they both confirmed they were not given, which we knew. They're a 2-year lease. They have to give them back in 2 years, or if you want to get out of it earlier, you can. But they were also given 2 years of charging, like at charge point. I said, that's cool. I said, because I know when I got mine.
Oh, these were electric cars they gave away?
Yeah, they're the Fiat EVs that they leased away. Yes. And
pardon me.
They paid for the lease. But they are responsible for their own insurance. Obviously, you would be, right? But also, registration time every year, you got to pay that registration.
Yeah, so the
lady from Twin Dragons was like, I'm thinking about giving it back because this is a whole lot of money. The insurance on it. And I said, well, EVs.
Probably what, 1,000, 1,500?
It's probably less than that because that car is smaller. And last year, when I was 1 year in on my Cadillac, it was $930. This year, I was so happy to get the registration thing last month because it's only like $876.
It drops down every year.
Every year.
Yes. Yep. But you know, brand new cars, registration is higher, and EVs are definitely higher. But she's got this first year registration, and for her, it's probably like, this is ridiculous. So she said her cousin told her, hey, I have this older Prius that if you want to use it, it's yours, right? So she's thinking about taking the Fiat back. And exactly. So she doesn't have that higher registration. But she's got to figure it out in the next week or two or something. So, but they did confirm they are leases that Fiat and Cedric the Entertainer's company did together. They do have to pay their own registration and their own insurance. And they were given 2 years of charge point charging for these Fiats. So learned a little bit more last night than we did on that from last year. But they both said they're still extremely grateful. And I said, absolutely, because right after the fire, you didn't know what you were going to do about a vehicle. So even if it is a 2-year lease, when they lost their vehicles, they are very, very grateful for it. So I don't want anybody to think like they're all upset or whatever. They just have to make decisions about what they want to do, if they want to keep it another year or go another route. But if for a year or two after losing everything in the fire, you don't have to worry about a car note, and maybe you can save for one, right? So you give it back and then or the option to buy, because, you know, leases, they always option you to buy it. I said, yeah, that is a real blessing and a really good thing. So we're not knocking anyone on it. I think in the beginning, it was not communicated well.
Right.
Because the terminology on the news and in everything was, we gave these to these people.
That's not the only thing that didn't communicate well about how things were supposed to go. But the car giveaway is also, in a way, gives people a chance to figure out if they want or like electric cars too, because I'm sure a lot of people were interested, but you know, obviously due to the crazy circumstances of the fire, now they're in a position to even, hey, you know what, I get to drive an EV, maybe I like it, maybe I don't. So that kind of helps them too moving forward.
Let me tell you, I will probably, well, I do have a gas car, but I'm loaning it to someone right now. But other than that, like when it gets back, I may use it for local stuff just to make sure the battery doesn't die and all that. But I will probably never purchase another gas car because this EV is the best thing since sliced bread for me, to me. Like I love it. And I am now, it'll be 2 years, March 20th. And I have one more year on my lease. This is my first lease ever in life as well. And so I have to figure out, what up, Terry Bacchus? He said, Tony, he's back. But
that boy been on hiatus.
I know. But it is so easy. I don't have to worry about oil changes and all this other stuff. And I can plug it in my garage about once a week. I do that. It's quiet. It's smooth. It's smooth because it's new. You know what I mean? All brand new cars are new. But the only thing for me is the batteries, meaning because it's a battery on wheels is what I call it, right?
Absolutely.
But the fact is, like the more you use things in the car, the more it drains your battery. And so when the warranty is up, right? Then what happens? Do you have to replace that battery? They used to be 15 grand. Now I hear maybe 8, but that's still a big cost if so. And so I have to decide in this next 13 months if I'm going to buy this thing next year or if I'm turning it in and going to lease something else or what. I love it, but I just don't know yet. So we'll see. But I like EVs, and I would think that some of these people, you're right, Brian, may decide, or Jamal, okay, yeah, this was a 2-year trial of the EV. I do want to either buy this or another EV or not. Right. So, yeah.
So the people who got these, I'm trying to figure out, I would love to do a survey, like, how do you charge it? Like, if you live in an apartment or you work in a hotel, do they have charging stations now for EVs?
So, did you not hear me say they were given 2 years of charge point Maybe not, because I know you were doing things in the
Now, I
background.
heard that, but what does that mean? I don't know. I don't have
Charge point is a charging network. Like you see the Tesla chargers, then there's ChargePoint, there's EVgo, there's several charging networks all over. And there's Tatris, because she has
So how do you, like, say you lived in a hotel and you got this charge point and it's not one at the hotel, where do you go? I mean, how do you charge it overnight?
Charge point,
so there's ChargePoint,
the
there's
car.
apps, and you can put your zip code and it will tell you where the nearest charge point facility chargers are, and you go and you just plug in. And because they've been given 2 years of free charge point, like I have 2 years free EVgo. That's what came with my Cadillac. It was either that or a discount on them installing a charger in my house. Well, the charger they wanted to install would have been like $2,600 plus installation. I was like, no, I could do my own charger, which I did for $750, and I have 2 years of EVgo. So if I have to go somewhere and I'm not fully charged, I can look up where EVgo is and go and charge still for free until March 20th. After that, I'd put in a credit card. I also have ChargePoint. I put in a credit card.
I get all that, but
You
what
sit
I'm saying
in the car while it charges.
so you have to stay there with your car for 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't take
Most of
2 or
the
3
time.
hours. It's usually 45 minutes, maybe an hour if you're very low on your battery. But when I have gone to an EVgo or a ChargePoint, like they have them where Target shopping centers are. So I'll be like, oh, let me go.
Oh, so you kind of do it during your daily chores.
Exactly. And you go plug in, you go
Smart
run your
with it,
errands
yeah.
or whatever, come out, stuff like that. That's the better way. And I'm going to tell you, I got EVgo and I set twice after getting my car, which was probably once a week, right? Because I work home. And after the second time, I said, oh, I'm not doing this because it's 45 minutes to an hour. And then I got the charger put in my garage because I was like, and I charge at night when I'm asleep. I was like, there's no way I'm sitting wasting 45 minutes or an hour. And at some places you will see, I think there's a Charge America not far from me. There are people lined up 5, 6, 7 cars deep. And
that's
I think
another thing. Like, you gotta wait.
So you wait in an hour or so.
It's like the
then
gas
you get on
prices
the
of
charger.
1975.
I'm not doing that. That's
you know who
worse
uses
than
them a
having
lot?
a gas car waiting in a Costco line.
Right. Uber drivers use them a lot, especially at night. There's a hotel that I take my parents to on Colorado, and they actually have a bunch of charge points. Primarily, I think it's for Teslas, but they're always
That's
full,
a
and it's
Tesla
usually
charger.
people they're backed up, waiting, looking at their phones, and they'll kind of run back out there to start doing more Uber because those batteries run out over time. But yeah, that's what they do. Like going up to Vegas, if you go to what is it, Baker? That first exit, the first gas station, I forget what it is, but they actually have it used to be a wide open parking lot. Now it's probably, I don't know, 60 charge stations, maybe more, where people are just in there and they just back their little, cars up, their EVs, and plug them in and go inside, get gas. And I mean, not get gas, but get some snacks, go to the bathroom, get and what have you. But they do have to wait. That's the only thing. You do have to wait for it.
Sometimes, unless you go to different ones and there's a spot open. And then there are Tesla chargers.
I mean, inside the car.
So, I'm sorry. I thought you stopped. Did I cut you off? I apologize.
No, I was just saying, I meant when I said wait, I meant you wait in the car while it's charging.
Yeah, you
Unless,
just said.
It's
And so there's
by your
the whole
hotel.
Tesla has their own chargers, right?
Mhm.
And with Tesla, if you have another car, you can get a Tesla adapter. Like Cadillac, GM, they have these Tesla adapters. Mind you, Tesla people get pissed when Lyrics or Escalades or other ones go to there because Tesla is exclusive, right? And they've done in the past what's called, I forget what it is, but basically they block you. They will go park directly behind you so you can't leave. I said, I wish a Tesla would, because they'd have some real problems. But anywho, I digress.
Silly.
They would sometimes do that, but the chargers apparently are the to plug in are very short. So I'm in this Lyric group on Facebook, and people will go and they're on the opposite side of our car, and they'll go cat a corner, and so they wind up taking 2 Tesla chargers up. And I'm like, well, no wonder they're pissed off, because what are you doing? Find a charge point or EVgo or something that works with your vehicle, right? because our ports are on the right
The
side by the
defiant
front.
ones.
I guess
Right.
Teslas are somewhere else. I don't know. But if you get a Tesla adapter, the adapters are like $200. I'm like, why do that? Just go find one that works with your car, right? EVgo, ChargePoint, or whatever. So anyway, there's all kinds of little nuances about charging, but it is what it is. So yeah, I did see this comment. I'll put it back up now. Tatris, hello, can you all address the taxes we have to deal with regarding the grants, other financial gifts received from resources? So yes, we've been talking about this all year. We have talked about how, people complain about all the money that went from fire aid to nonprofit organizations. This is exactly why we have said on here, I've probably said 50 or 100 times, no organization wants to cause undue harm to anyone that just lost everything from the fires. So the way that you have to do it is you have that concert like Fire Aid. Now people are starting to get it a little bit. That 100 million is now dispersed to nonprofits, because to us, we don't have to any nonprofit, pay taxes on that money that's given as a grant when you use it and give it to fire victims. So the amount should be, to not be taxed, $250 or less. It's just a small grant. Anything over that, the $1,000, the $10,000, some people got $10,000 from Beyonce's org or different stuff. Anytime you had to fill out a 1099, I've been screaming this for a year. If you fill out a 1099, or I'm sorry, a W-9, you will get a 1099 January of 2026 saying you were given this money. It now becomes part of your taxable income that you got to pay taxes on. So that's why Fire Aid did not give people money to rebuild their homes. 300,000, a million, whatever people keep shouting from the rooftops about, they didn't give us the money. Yeah, it went to nonprofits, and nonprofits in turn gave it to you all, to anyone who stood in a line, anyone who got a gift card or any of that. The way we did it was we did ours utilizing funds to have the event at Loma Alta Park and gave turkeys and gift cards and paid for the meal. That way people were not, we didn't give out a W-9 for those gift cards that were $150, $200, or for the turkeys, because it was under the threshold. So on that, Tatris, anything that you received as a grant that you had to fill out a W-9 for, including probably that car, that now becomes part of your taxable income. You will now get a 1099 this month. Matter of fact, the 31st was when all the 1099s had to be in or whatever, right? Which was Saturday. So you'll see something in the mail coming up if you haven't gotten it. And when you file your taxes, you now have to include that as part of your income from 2025 and submit that 1099 with any other tax paperwork, your W-2s or whatever. So we have been saying this over and over and over since April, May last year, at least.
And we will continue to say it because a lot of people are just now coming onto the show. They haven't heard it.
And we will continue to say, we personally, and no nonprofit, and the leaders of the organization that dispersed the money for Fire Aid have not wanted to cause undue harm to anyone. So when you go and you get a grant, some people got, from Red Cross money, right? Immediately, $3,500 or whatever. I don't know if they just gave it or had you fill out something. I do know people that went to Baygood events, Beyonce, that I think at the Civic Center or the Civic Auditorium last year, people were given $10,000. I can guarantee you, before they cut you that or gave you that check or that money into your account, you filled out a W-9. Now you get a 1099 on it and you have to pay taxes on that. That's why, again, had you lost your home in the fire and you had insurance, but you had a gap of $200,000 or whatever, if Fire Aid would have written you a check for that amount, that now becomes part of your taxable income. It's a whole new tax bracket. That's why it was not
in taxes.
When people scream, "Where's all the money? Where's all the money?" It was given to nonprofits so they can provide direct aid, not all this big money, but whether it was a gift card of 100, of 200, of 500, of whatever. The threshold is supposed to be 250. So they try to give, like California Firefighters Association, when you went to either the convention center or Victory Park, they gave out $250 gift cards. You had to sign in so that if you came back in the line, they would know you wouldn't get another one. But you weren't doing a W-9 because that threshold is 250 and below. Anything above that, you could get asked to sign a W-9. And then, because as nonprofits, we have to say, this is where the money went. And if we gave out $1,000 here, $1,000 there, or whatever, we would have had to ask people, please sign this W-9 because we need to give you a 1099 later. So that's where the taxes are going to come from now. And that's why, again, Fire Aid, to say they gave out direct relief, that's what it was. It went through the nonprofits. If they would have given it to you directly, you would have had to do a W-9. And now your tax bracket is a different bracket because you have 10,000 extra, 50,000 extra, 100,000, whatever it would have been, right? So that's what happens. And we've been saying it for the last year, and we will continue to say it when we explain Fire Aid distribution, and we explain we don't want to cause anyone undue harm, or no organization does. That's why, again, if you stood in any line and got any kind of a grant or a gift, if they had you fill out a W-9, it becomes part of your taxable income. You will get a 1099 in 2026 and have to file that with your taxes for 2025. Hopefully that helps, Tatris. I know that Tatris was, sorry, you guys, my riser just unhooked on me for my laptop. Tatris was also a recipient of the car and of that Fiat lease. And I don't know whether or not they will have you do a 1099. Likely they will or may have, because that lease amount that's been paid for by someone else, whatever that monthly amount would have been, if they had you fill out a W-9, you will get a 1099 that you were given that as a gift or a grant equivalent. Say it was $400 a month, $4,800 for this year. And if you keep it another year, then in 2027, you'll get that as well. If they had you fill out a W-9 in all of your paperwork. That's why when they say, oh, we gave away, I was like, hold up. And if people don't understand the ramifications of all this stuff, nobody who lost everything in this fire should then have to turn around and be given gifts or grants, and they weren't fully explained that, oh, by the way, we need you to fill this W-9 out because you will be taxed on this money that you think you're getting as free money this year. You'll be taxed next year. It now becomes part of your taxable income. So most definitely, if you filled out a W-9 for anyone in the last year as a fire survivor, unfortunately, you will be paying taxes on that, and you will get a 1099 for it. Whatever the grant amount was, if it was technically over $250, you could receive a 1099 for it. If you filled out a W-9. So that's why on this show, we have tried to get this information. She says, wow, thank you. I don't get a chance to tune in. No problem, Tatris. And I'm just learning of the 1099. Thank you for the info. I'm in over my head regarding taxes. Yeah, no worries. And I'm thankful that you were able to tune in today and ask that question, because if you don't always get to tune in or have the alert where you could look, you're working, you're trying to figure out your life still a year after the fire, your rebuild, your everything. That's why we give this information consistently. So we will continue to, because we need to make sure that people in Altadena know. That's what Altadena Talks is for, to talk about all this information. If you go to YouTube and you look up Altadena Talks, and then you in the search put 1099s or W-9s, it should pull any of the episodes where we have talked about this, because Brian has done a great job putting the metadata tags in so that if you search a topic or whatever, it will show you any of the shows that we spoke On?
Well, the transcript is almost always there too. So if you search anything, it'll pull up what we said.
Yeah. Tatra says, I think I received 2 W-9s. Last year, if you filled out a W-9 and signed it, then you will get twice. You'll get 2 1099s. Jeffrey Lopez said, thank you for sharing this info. I didn't know they gave W-9 for grants. It depends. Some foundations did not. Others did. I do know that the Baygood, because they were given, $10,000, $15,000. And I think my mama went down there and said she had to fill out a W-9. So, and I said, okay, that means you're going to get a 1099 next year. It becomes part of your taxable income. But it was after they were given, right? I think she was, or I don't know if she said she did or somebody she knew. Either way, yes, if you went somewhere last year and were given a grant and filled out a W-9 for it, you will be getting a 1099 here shortly, if you already haven't. And if so, you might be a little freaked out because now you have whatever that amount was as part of your income from last year, taxable income that you now have to file with your taxes for this year, on top of all the other stuff when it comes. Yes, from Baygood and from Lindustry. Okay, good. Yeah, those are the two. Because if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Baygood I know was, I think, 10 grand and you filled out a W-9. If you went to the Civic Center or Civic Auditorium, you will definitely get a 1099 for that, because we heard about it after the fact. And I said, if you filled out a a W-9, you're going to get a 1099. Lindustry is that one that people kept saying they applied for and it would take forever and they had problems and all of that.
Now, was that a grant or was that going to be a loan?
No, I believe it was a grant. And so Tatris just said she received one from Baygood and from Lindustry. So that one from Lindustry was also considered a grant, because I believe Fire Aid gave them money. I'm not sure. But if they filled out, if you got something from Lindustry, I don't believe the program was named Lindustry. I think the program, when they were saying, oh, you can apply for this grant from so-and-so or whatever, and then it took you to the Lindustry site. And so, yeah, it was a grant.
That last year too.
Yeah. But the program was titled something else, I forget, but then people would log in and it would take you to Lindustry. And so, hey, Brandon. Yes. But that one, I do remember that also being a grant, but a large sum. Thank you, Sarita. She says Lindustry was the Los Angeles County Emergency Rent Relief Program. So,
oh, wow. So they're probably going to be doing the one this year.
Yeah. But there was something else with Lindustry that was not that only. It was something else. But either way, if it was that, and it took you out and it was Lindustry, but if it was considered a grant, you will get a 1099. You will have to pay taxes on it because it crossed that threshold. And so they have to send that out to everybody because they have to account for it. So yes, it's unfortunate that people did not have that understanding when they were in need and needed funds so that they could not live in their cars, pay for an Airbnb or who knows what, right? Everybody had all kinds of crazy circumstances over the last year. And again, people are still screaming, where 18,000. Thank you so much. Yes, that's the one I was thinking about, the Household Relief Grant Program from Lindustry. And it was 18,000 that came through the county. So money came through, the county announced it. You could go here, you put it in, boom, it took you out to Lindustry. It was up to 18,000. So some people got sick, some people, different varying amounts based on, I believe, your household size and different things. But that is it, Sarita. I'm so glad you put that in there because that's the one that I remember and forgot the name of the program. So I really appreciate that. But that one definitely was a grant and it was W-9 based as well. So now there's a 1099. So if you got Baygood for 10 grand and say another 10 from Lindustry for this LA County Household Relief Grant Program, you will get 2 1099s now this month, maybe last month. because the deadline is always the 31st to get those in. But you'll get them in the mail. And now when you file your taxes, you have to add those 1099s and that income. So if your normal income is $80,000 a year, $60,000 a year, whatever it is, you now have an additional, and this is hypothetical, $20,000 on top, which could put you into a whole other tax bracket, which could totally mess up what you have to pay. And you could potentially owe, right? So,
just throwing a quick disclaimer to make sure you check with a tax professional to get those details and the actual numbers, and especially when you're filing your taxes.
So Tatris said we need some tax write-offs now, our tax brackets, and now higher. Are there any write-offs that you know of? No, I would, like Jamal said, talk to a tax professional. If you are of age of AARP, and that doesn't mean you're 60, 65, 55, whatever, because I remember I got my first AARP notification to sign up in my 40s, I think, right before.
Because you're an old soul.
Right before something. And I know my goddaughter's like 48, and she called me a few months ago like, God, Mom, they sent me. And I was like, hey,
yeah, she's an old soul. They notice the old souls. They give them to you early.
Sign up. So, but AARP is helping people with taxes. And there are other programs where you can get free tax help. Tatris, Google that, or possibly even go over to the Eaton Fire Collaboratory, because if they don't have someone there to help with taxes, they have resources, they have lists of resources, and might be able to say, oh, this person can help you with that, or this person. But absolutely consult a tax professional, not just because of these 1099s, but total losses and capital gains are a real thing that are happening right now. And you can defer it because you were a total loss survivor. What happens with capital gains is you buy a house. Let's say you bought your house for $400,000, right? Many years ago. Your insurance paid you out because you own your home, and maybe they paid you out $800,000 because of the value of it. The difference between that 4 and that 8 is $400,000. That's a gain that will be recognized by the IRS that you gained as if you sold your house. You didn't sell your house, because if you sell it, there will be capital gains and there will be capital gains taxes. So because it was a natural disaster and a loss because of that, you can defer that, because once you rebuild your house, there's no longer, and that money that your insurance gave you went to the rebuild, there's no longer capital gains. But you need to talk to a tax professional because they know the code that the IRS is using and all of that. So these are real things that Eaton Fire, Cali Fire, whatever, are dealing with right now. And it is happening because you're getting your W-2s and your 1099s. And your insurance company also now has to give a 1099 for money that they have dispersed to you.
Now, does that work like the same way a 1031 exchange works?
Does what?
No.
What is
like
a 1031 exchange? I don't know.
1031 exchange is when you buy a house, and instead of getting charged capital gains taxes, if you automatically put that money into a new house, then you avoid the capital gains charges because it's a 1031 exchange. So I don't know if that fell in the same category as that.
No, because what a 1031 exchange does, it's based on Section 1031 of the IRS code. It allows real estate investors to defer capital gains and depreciation recapture taxes by swapping one investment or business property for another like-kind property. It requires using a qualified intermediary to hold funds, identifying replacement property within 45 days, and closing with 180 days. So that seems to be something totally different, because that's for real estate investors. It is not natural disaster capital gains, but it has been deferred. But again, talk to a tax professional, because we also know there's a new administration that's been in office for a year, and they did a whole bunch of stuff with the IRS and with taxes. So this year's tax season is going to look a little different anyway. So please, please, please connect with Tatras, either AARP or go to the collaboratory and find someone who can assist you and talk about, what you can do. So Tatras said, Tony, thank you. Is there any way you can do something at the church and bring in some tax professionals to talk with us? Because I don't know if a lot of people knew about this. I'm just becoming aware of being taxed off of these gifts. I'll call Pastor Angel today and propose that to her and see if this is something that Victory wants to host, and we will partner with them and host it. I had one tax professional come on last year who specifically spoke to reverse mortgages because there were people that had them. And once there's a loss like this, what to do after a fire. And then what is his name? Mark DeMoico. Yeah, Mark DeMoico, I think does something, but let me see, Tatras, what I can do. I'll call Pastor Angel today. There are tons of people that do not know still that this is going to happen. That's why we've been saying it for a year and saying we personally do not want to bring undue harm to anyone. And no one should. No one wants to. And everybody had great intentions of helping. But anytime something like this happens, I kind of wish that some of the people that have been screaming, you guys stole money, where's all the money from Fire Aid concert? I really wish they would come on now and get this understanding, because we've been screaming it for a year. But now they have a 1099 in their face for a little bit of what they got. Imagine if you would have gotten whatever your gap was to rebuild your home. And really, by the time it was $100 million by all the survivors of the fire, I think we broke it down and it would have been either $30,000 or $50,000, which would not have built your home back anyway. But you would now have that as a 1099 and had an extra 30 or 50,000 as part of your taxable income from 2025, as though you earned it from work. You would definitely not want that.
Yeah, this is a time to get a tax professional on to interview and talk even deeper about this subject matter.
So and there are other orgs that
great info too, to get people's appetite whet, just to get the basics. It's like, okay, well, now I got to look into this. So we have somebody come on and talk a little more deeper, or refer them to folks. That'd be really, really good.
Yep, definitely. So there are organizations that have some help that you can go to, and definitely contact AARP. I don't think you have to be of a certain age, but contact them even if you're not a member. If you are a member, definitely, because they are doing it. I think my parents are dealing with them. They used to have a tax person out in the valley, a Jewish man who did all their taxes. I remember when I was growing up, but I don't know if he's still alive or what. So, and if you are an elder or know someone that's an elder or elderly or over 55 or 60 or whatever, please, please, please have them either talk to AARP or some other organization that helps elderly with their taxes, and it's done for free, because this can really mess some people up. And you don't want IRS putting a lien on your lot or your property when it's rebuilt later because you didn't know this and didn't pay the additional taxes. So definitely get free tax prep help, ask all your questions, everything that you need to get asked. Please do that and take the best care of yourself so that you don't have undue harm brought to you, additional burden of paying a bunch of taxes because you just didn't know.
Exactly. Exactly.
So Tatras, you said yes because this is now an added stress, but I will get through this too. Much appreciated. So don't take that stress on yourself. There are organizations that will help you. There are organizations that understand this and that will do it pro bono. So I would start, I don't know if you qualify for AARP. If you do, contact them. If not, the Eaton Fire Collaboratory is there and they have resources. Whether they have a tax professional there or not, I personally do not know. I don't know if Jamal or Brian know, but they have lots of resources. Go and say, hey, do you have a tax resource? I'm really confused about a lot of stuff. And then take all the documents you received or are receiving, sit down with that person, and don't allow that extra added stress to be on you, because you don't want to wind up at Huntington having a stroke.
Mm-mm.
I was told yesterday that somebody that we all know is in Huntington just had a stroke. So I'm praying for her, but don't do it. Mark Carter had a bad stroke and then wound up passing away because of all this stuff that's going on. You do not need one extra thing on you that is going to stress you out and affect your health. So let the professionals that are there, and FireAid is still dispersing grant money now. If you go on the FireAid website, and maybe we can do that, and look and see if there is tax help, because they've given money to organizations that have tons of lawyers that are out here helping people at no cost, because they got FireAid money to directly help fire victims. So if you,
regardless of what Spencer Pratt is talking about,
so if you go on FireAid's website and see if there are any of the grant recipients, see if there's any that say they deal with taxes, that's another way that you can find someone. So do your Googling off your phone or off your laptop, and even Google free tax help for Eden fire survivors. And I guarantee you, if there is someone doing it, that will pop up. So hopefully that gives you guys some assistance or some context or a little bit of how you can hopefully help yourself, this year. Okay. Post-fire. You're right. Thanks, Rita. I forgot. Yeah, post-fire might be a good help too. And we just had
postfire.org.
Mm-hmm. Yep, postfire.org has tons of resources. So, and they just,
if they had that one on there.
Not this.
Just
and
got
even
a grant.
if they didn't, if we let them know, they'll put something together.
Yeah. Thanks, Sarita. I'm so glad you're on today, because you are right on it. Perfect. See? Taxes in your recovery. Was that part of the announcements, Jamal?
Not that I wasn't going to do it this week, because it is next week, where I was going to probably do it Friday, but or it's actually the week after that. But I was going to at some point. So it's on Feb 18th. But yeah, for this particular one, they're talking about your federal and California disaster tax rules, insurance proceeds and ALE, rebuilding versus buying, and capital gains and exclusions, settlements, timings, and audits, and all that good stuff. So this is a Zoom event. It is Wednesday the 18th from 7 to 8. You can scan the QR code, or you can go to esurvivors.net/events. I will continue to have this, in subsequent days in the announcements, and try to find some more. I think there was another one or two that were related to taxes that I'll try to put up there as well.
And I will get back to all of you, but if we are able to host something, whether it's at Victory Church or even at Harambe, because when I went over there and took some donations last week, Brandon said, Tony, if you guys ever need to host anything here, we got you. And he's not going to charge us. So maybe I'll call him today too, because he might be doing something either through Harambe or NAACP or Project Passion. But I will make some calls and do some texting right now and find out. And if there is something, we will get it out there. And if there is not, we may have to create and host something, because it is that season and people definitely need to know and need the help. So we'll get on top of the awareness and try to figure that out. So Jamal, I guess you can take it away with the announcements, because I didn't realize I've been talking for 58 and a half minutes.
Good subject matter.
You got a minute to do the announcements, and we're shutting it down.
All right, here we go. I'm gonna go fast. Ready, set. Nah, hold on.
Okay, that's it.
It's a wrap. Thank you. Here we go.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we're going to start again with just making sure everybody knows SBA has returned to provide that in-person assistance at the Eden Fire Collaborative at 540 West Woodbury Road in Altadena, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. They're also at the Ronald Reagan Palisades, Post 283, 15247 La Cruz Drive in Palisades, Pacific Palisades. They're open there Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. And then, like I said, I'm going to continue this just through this week. Just want to make sure you all know that the main Altadena library is currently closed for renovations for the next 14 to 18 months, with the following 2 branches that have extended their hours. First is Altadena Library at Loma Alta Park, which is 3330 North Lincoln Avenue. They're open Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., as well as Friday and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, the Bob Lucas Memorial Library is located at 2659 Lincoln Avenue. They're open Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., but they're also open Sundays from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. And then the free medical and health clinic put on by Eaton Health Village continues every Monday and Wednesday from 12 to 5 p.m. So they're there today from noon to 5 at 1280 East Washington Boulevard in Pasadena. They do accept walk-ins, but you can also schedule your appointment or call to ask questions at 951-595-7032. And My Tribe Rise continues to have the Adopt a Survivor matching fund drive, where they're trying to raise an additional $500,000 to provide bridge funding for rent and mortgage coverage for up to 50 families. If you're able to donate, please do so by scanning the QR code on the flyer and the screen. And then wildfire tenant support clinics are continuing. The next one is today. It began at 10:30 and will go through until 12:30. It's at Neighborhood Unitarian Universalist Church at 301 North Orange Grove Boulevard in Pasadena. If you have questions, you can email Jay Smalley at innercitylog.org or call 213-891-2880. There's a free grief and loss support group for LA fires. It's every Wednesday from 6:30 to 8 p.m. at the Maxwell House, which is located at 55 South Grand Avenue in Pasadena. It's also virtual and is for any adult who was impacted by the recent fires, and it is free of charge. If you have some questions, you can reach out to Joanne Diaz-Kogel at area code 818-395-8066 or via email at Joanne, which is Joanne, Kogel, Koegl, all one word, and lowercase at gmail.com. And then Juicy Little Finds Thrift Stores providing the We Out Here Market, which is happening every Wednesday from 12 to 3 p.m. at the world famous Fair Oaks Burger at 2560 North Fair Oaks Avenue in Altadena. Remember, this is exclusively for Altadena residents, so bring your ID and you can get fresh produce and groceries, free smoothies, and much more. There are requests for donations and volunteers because they are needed. And if you would like more information, please go to juicylittle.org.
That's today.
Yep.
We out here.
There it was. I was waiting. I never know when you're going to say it, so I just, at the end.
I was sitting at the other computer and having a look over.
So also today is a free grocery pop-up market. It is from 12 until supplies last at the Lifeline Fellowship Christian Fellowship at 2556 North Lake Avenue in Altadena. They're also providing 100 free hot meals provided by El Patron. And they also have a Boots on the Ground special end of the month Wednesdays, where you get to stock up on hygiene products, new clothing, and much more. So definitely check that out. They've been doing this for several months right now, so that's really, really cool. In addition,
it's weird because it's right across the street from Juicy's.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Excuse me. Altadena Chamber of Commerce is now accepting applications through the deadline of February 16th for the Shop Local 500 gift card grant program. It's open to all Altadena residents directly impacted by the Eaton fires. Previous applicants and awardees are eligible to apply, and this is a $500 gift card that can be used at participating stores only listed at shoplocal.la/recover-local. And if you'd like to apply, you can actually either go to altadenachamber.org or you can scan the QR code and fill out the form. And then there's a community conversation discussing brain fog and decision overload. It's happening today beginning at 6 p.m. It's a virtual event. You can scan the QR code or go to tr.ee/community-convo to register. And the topics covered will be understanding why your brain shuts down during recovery and how to break big tasks into small wins. Learn when to delay life choices while your decider is offline. Share what tools have worked for you to manage the chaos, and learn what's worked for your fellow survivors. And lastly, get answers on how to explain your fog to those who may not understand why you're not back to normal yet. This should really be a good event. Also today, from 5:30 to 7:30, the Lincoln Avenue Water Company is having a special shareholders meeting, and this is to discuss the 2026 rate adjustments and financial positions. You must be a shareholder or a tenant in the Lincoln Avenue service area in order to attend. It's actually taking place at Loma Alta Park in the community room. It's 3330 North Lincoln Avenue. So definitely go check that out so you can get all the information that you need regarding this. And if you have questions and you can't attend, you can actually call 626-798-9101. Now, tomorrow, the LA Fire Justice is having the La Cañada Flint Ridge Eaton Fire Town Hall. It's happening from beginning at 6 p.m. There will be dinner provided by Wraps to Go, Mez Trejo. Then at 6:30 will be presentations, and at 7:30 will be Q&A. This is taking place at the La Cañada Congregational Church in the Anderson Hall at 1200 Foothill Boulevard in La Cañada, Flint Ridge. And this should be actually a pretty good event. If you have questions, you can call 626-684-3315. As we mentioned a little earlier, Soul to Soul Solutions and Jazzy Jams for Empowerments is having their first event for 2026. The First Fridays Pasadena New Year's New Connections is taking place this Friday from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. at the in the water cooler room. It's at Paseo, Colorado, 300 East Colorado Boulevard, Suite 150. Celebrate the new arrival of the new year in community. They're hosting an evening of networking and celebration. To register, please go to info@jazzyjamforempowerment.org. Or if you have questions, you can reach out to 626-755-3057. I think that's 57. And then Dina Heals is actually providing free yoga this Saturday. Doors open at 9 a.m. with the class beginning at 9:15. It's guided by Yancey Cummins. And you can RSVP by going to bit.ly/D as in Dina, H as in Heels, /yoga. And the location is Paseo Mall at 300 East Colorado Boulevard, Suite 151. The Eden Fire Collaboratory's Art and Cultural Committee celebrates Dina's culture of Black excellence in art. This exhibit is opening on this Saturday, February 7th, from 3 to 6 p.m. with free entry for the public. It's going to be emceed by Rashid Ali, and the exhibit is actually going to be on display until March 31st, and they're open Monday through Saturday. The address is 540 West Woodbury Road in Altadena, and there will also be food, music, in addition to the art that's going to be on display. And then Silver Lake Track Club is presenting the Altadena to Palisades run and bike ride to support ongoing fire relief in LA. If you'd like to donate, please scan the QR code on the bottom right. And if you'd like to actually sign up and participate in the run or bike ride, please scan the QR code on the bottom left. All right, and the Underdog Bookstore is having a mutual aid pop-up this Sunday, February 8th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The location is 312 South Myrtle Avenue in Monrovia, and you would enter from the back lot off of Palm. There's going to be free groceries, toiletries, baby items, pet food, and more for anyone in need. No questions asked while supplies last, plus a free used book giveaway. Take a box to fill. Okay, I'm sorry. Take a book, use book free giveaway. Take a box to fill little free libraries or use for crafting. Sorry, something popped up on my screen. I couldn't see. There's a microwave giveaway happening on the 9th and 10th. So it's Monday and Tuesday of next week. It's going to be in Harambe. This is going to be part of their Freedom Store, but it's going to be limited supplies. So you definitely want to scan the QR code to register. And it's going to be at 1609 Navarro Avenue in Pasadena. It's limited to one per household, and the Altadena address must be verified in order for you to qualify for this giveaway. And then Janelle Ketcher is actually going to put on the workshop that was rescheduled to February 11th. It's actually going to be a workshop called Writing Letters as a Tool for Grief. So participants will learn about the therapeutic qualities of writing letters and how it can be a powerful tool for processing grief. It's taking place at the Bob Lucas Memorial Library, which is at 2659 Lincoln Avenue, from 3:30 to 5:30 again on February 11th. And it's available for adults 18 and older. It's free. Go ahead and register at the QR code using the QR code, and definitely take advantage of this event. I believe this is the end. It is the end. So I bring Tony and Brian, or at least Tony, back. Brian is on the other computer, off the screen, and he slid on in there. He pulled a Tony and slid on in, and he's muted.
Well, thank you, Jamal, for those wonderful announcements.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to show you guys I was brought a gift yesterday by a guest. Check it out.
It's not a gift by a guest. Your girlfriend gave you flowers.
You didn't let me.
Very nice, Jerry.
You know, I swear, if I ever get to finish a sentence, it will be a cold day in hell.
You were. You said it, and then you brought them up and did like this.
And then I was going to say some more, but
you're going to have another
sentence. Thank you for finishing my sentence.
Got it.
You know, you read my mind.
Dramatic.
Like the shop, we got a few people came in on the other side. I think that has some honorable mentions. Paste these up because I was doing something else, so I didn't see the comments. Sorry. Nashawn just said, I just forwarded you an email about an emergency artist grant from Foundation of Contemporary Artists. So I'll have to check the email when I get off the podcast. We got Big Mama T in the house. She done joined on Instagram over on the Altadena Talk side. And Altadena photographers, welcome to the show.
Welcome all.
Caught you at the last bit, but we made sure we got you in there. We're about to jump off because we done overstayed our welcome. It's 1 hour and 13 minutes.
And Tony, I got that link you sent. I'll comment on those and add it tomorrow. You're muted.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, that was to Brian. I said, Brian, this is the event so-and-so called me about.
Okay.
Yeah. Anywho, everyone have a wonderful day. Get out and get some vitamin D and enjoy the sunshine because it's going to be, 86 or something? That makes me
2026
sweat.
wellness.
Almost 90.
Toodaloo.
I will be heading over for the Pasadena Chamber of Commerce's monthly lunch to see if anybody over there would like to give us some grants as an offset from their having to pay their taxes this year. So that's my pitch today.
Good ball.
Have a great day, everyone.
Happy hump day, y'all. See you mañana. What? Oh, tomorrow? Anything happening? Tony?
Not as of right now that I'm telling. No.
That you're telling?
What's tomorrow?
Like announcing. Yeah.
Tony talks.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, she'll slap it on there. We think.
Toodles.
Peace.